Bet on Bears fans, another edition of the Chicago Bears podcast coming your way. Pat, the designer, Shea, Norling back in the bit. Been a couple of weeks, Shea.
It's been a little bit, but we're back, and now we're on the grind.
Oh, my God.
We got nothing but Mondays.
Oh, I love it. I love it, and I'll tell you what, I'm excited on multiple fronts. Shea, I'm here to say it. Ben Johnson, 110% the best hire this franchise has made since Lovie Smith.
I told you.
110%, and you know it right now. We got to talk about what we saw in this Saints game. We got to talk about what Ben Johnson is doing out here, and dare I say, extending that out to Mr. Dennis Allen, who got the game ball as well. All that and more today's episode of the Chicago Bears podcast. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Today's episode brought to you by Underdog. Make picks, win money. Let's jump into this game, Shea. I'm on a high right now. 4-game win streak for the Chicago Bears. You went out and you dominated the New Orleans Saints for all intents and purposes. I know it got close there maybe with the 2 touchdowns coming out of the half and right after the half, but then the defense absolutely stifled everything that the Saints wanted to do. And I left that game with one feeling after watching the game plan that Ben Johnson called, after watching how the team as a whole responded coming out of the half. I've never been more sure in my life that Ben Johnson is the right hire. Mm-hmm. And you know pretty quickly with these guys. You knew early, like immediately, Kyle Shanahan's going to make this franchise a good franchise. Sean McVay, kind of the same thing. I think if you're a Bears fan right now, the game plan that you saw yesterday of Caleb Williams is struggling a little bit today, he doesn't have it. And your head coach went, that's okay. We also prepared to have this dominant running game. We're going to lean on that today. We're leaning on running and defense like it's 1985. They should have had all the old heads excited. I left that game going, Ben Johnson's the guy that's going to lead us to a Super Bowl.
Okay. That's a little rich for my blood, but I'm happy you feel that way. I think Ben Johnson is the right head coach for the Chicago Bears. I'm not going to say that he's going to win a Super Bowl because I think it's an incredibly difficult thing 100%. To do. But yeah, I chugged a beer about it on this show. I turned a beer into the Kool-Aid and I shotgunned a beer. Yeah. And I said, Ben Johnson's the guy. And I was 2 preseason games where I was like, I've seen enough. I've always felt that. I think his offense works. I think you can see that in the running game. I think you can see that in the separation that the receivers are able to get. The scheme is good. Are there a couple little nitpicky things I'd like to see stop? Yeah, specifically on 2nd and long, enough with the fucking quick screens, one side or the other, because I think it's gotten exposed on tape. The Saints jumped it twice yesterday. They should have picked them both, and both of those might have been 6 points the other way. That's the only real nitpicky game plan kind of thing that I have. The rest, defense looked great, and it was in large part what I talked about all offseason. What I thought they would do to create a pass rush is use nickels, use blitzes with Jaquan Brisker, use blitzes with Kyler Gordon, manufacture pressure. They did that yesterday. They did a great job of it. They bothered the hell out of Spencer Rattler. It was excellent. Offensively, they've run the ball. They've figured it out. I mean, you came out of the bye week. The offensive line looks completely different, with the exception of Drew Dalman. I don't know what it is. Give up the football.
That was weird. That got weird. That got weird yesterday. I didn't know what the – like, I thought Yurko said it best. No matter what the snap count is, you're snapping the ball. You're right. Like, the play, maybe Caleb's off, maybe the football's fumbled, and maybe that was Dolman's thought process, right? I'd rather take the penalty than a fumble. The first one should have been called a penalty. Yeah, the Bears should have had another opportunity.
It should have been an illegal snap.
It was nuts. I was like, gee, you kind of should have just ran that in at that point, because clearly NFL referees don't know the rules based on the last 2 weeks of what we've seen.
They were confused. Caleb fell down, and they're like, does he have the ball? Like, I didn't know who had the ball. Yeah. And then on replay, you see Dalman's just holding on to it. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. It should have been a penalty. We'll take it. Field goal's good. And you go up, I believe, 3-0 at that point. And look, I'd love to be how you feel and have just excitement and bear down and let's go. And I do think that they have an inside path now. You could turn this into a playoff season.
Well, I didn't say Super Bowl this year.
No.
I didn't say Super Bowl this year. I'm not saying Super Bowl this year.
I'm not saying Super Bowl this year either, but I think you could turn this into a playoff
100%
appearance.
You could.
But I know Ben Johnson's the right guy. I think Dennis Allen's the right guy. I don't think you're going to lose him because he's already failed as a head coach.
Twice.
So you get to keep him, and hopefully he's your Spags. The one thing I still don't know, and boy, I'm getting to the point where it's like, when are we going to find out? Is Caleb the quarterback? Because you get the Cowboy game, and you go, boy, this guy looks like our future here. And then you get the last 3 games, the Raider game, where you couldn't cash in on a short field ever. The Washington game last week, where I did think he was bad, and you can clutch your pearls all you want about Troy Aikman, but you better kiss every star you can find. I don't even know if that's a phrase. I'm conflating idioms. You better thank every star you can see in the sky that Troy Aikman wasn't on the call yesterday, because he would have thrown Caleb in a dumpster for that performance.
Yeah.
That was flat out bad. But you won. So all good in the hood? Is that how we feel? I just, at some point, like my big takeaway, at some point, I'd like to do a show post-game and feel like Caleb was the reason you won it.
See, that's how I feel last week, though. I think you got that game taken out of your hands with some of the calls from the refs. You should have been up in that game mightily. The illegal formation call was absolutely one of the worst calls I've seen in football. Caleb Williams scores a touchdown on that. You get that taken away. He drives you down. You score another touchdown on that play. He puts you in position to win the game with a field goal at the 10. Thank God, Ben Johnson, for not doing crazy things there.
The one thing I'll never say bad about Caleb is playing the fourth quarter. And even yesterday, 4th and 2, convert.
Yeah.
Big play. You ended the game.
End the game.
Critical downs, he seems to have it. But over the course of a game, it just can be such a struggle.
It's up and down right now. But I think here's the thing for me that gives me the confidence in Caleb. I don't think you win that Raiders game without how he played in that fourth quarter.
Sure.
And I would rather have a quarterback that can turn it on and you have to figure out some of the ups and downs early in the game than a quarterback that can never get it going. And right now you have a quarterback that can turn it on with a team that is helping you stay ahead in some of these situations with the running game and with the defense. I think that's just called developing a quarterback. Like it takes time for it to be perfect. Right now, what Caleb Williams is most off on, and even he admits it, are the things that we drafted him to do that he was really good at last year. When he gets off schedule and he needs to make an amazing play, you go, wow, look at that. But can he play inside the pocket? I feel like he's been more comfortable inside the pocket.
Yeah.
And when he's rolled out, he looks like he has no idea where to go with the football all of a sudden.
And I don't want to sit here and tell you I have the same feeling I had when I watched Justin Fields. I don't. I do think the recipe is here. It's just like week in, week out. I'm like, why do we not see it more consistently?
Yeah, by the way, we haven't done this on the show. You got it. Good debate. Jesus, Justin. The blitz is coming right at you. He's standing right there. This is worse than Chicago. What we're seeing right now is a lot worse than Chicago.
Tweeted about it.
It's crazy, bro.
I tweeted about it. He is worse than I ever thought he was.
He's gotten worse than I ever thought he possibly could be. Yesterday, he watched the guy blitz him.
Yeah.
And he just took it.
That's how you get benched on a bad team.
Yeah. Tyrod Taylor, welcome. Anyway.
No, it just, you know how I feel. I'd like the quarterback eventually when you're the number 1 pick in the draft and when you have a guy who's, look, Caleb exists independently of the quarterbacks taken around him. But we will always look at him through that lens.
Yeah.
And I think the part that bothers is too strong. It doesn't bother me because the team is winning and I believe in the quarterback and I still I like Caleb. I'm a fan of Caleb.
Yeah.
I just want it to be more consistent.
I agree.
But yeah, you do look at like what Jaden Daniels was able to accomplish last year on what was ostensibly a worse team. And you go, okay, the coaching here was horrible, so you throw it away. Great. Now we've got good coaching. And now we feel like you're developing the quarterback. But now I see Drake May look the way that he looks.
Yeah.
And every Patriots game is, let's be honest. He has far and away the worst supporting cast of any of the rookie quarterbacks from a year ago. And he is the reason that the Patriots win football games. He's not good, Pat. He's elite. he's resetting records for a franchise that had Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like, it's different watching him. And again, I'm not trying to slander Caleb, and I'm not taking a shot at Caleb.
You're just trying to say this is where he should be in the ethos of
I
things.
just want to see that. Because when May can do it behind an offensive line that blows, and if you don't believe
horrible.
me, look at the numbers.
Yeah, they're horrible.
They are the worst rushing offense in football. They get zero production. When he can do it with weapons that are Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper and a washed Steph Diggs and Pop Douglas.
Kevon Booty.
Like, why can't Keyshawn Booty from LSU? Why can't we see some of this that we're seeing from Drake May? Why can't we see it from Caleb?
Here's where, and I get it. You're a Patriots fan, which I don't know why everyone thinks you're a Lions fan now. You're a Patriots fan, and you're excited about what you're seeing. Here's my pushback on it. 1-5, 1-5, 1-6. No, the Steelers are winning. 1-6 for the Saints now. Titans are 1-5, I think.
Okay.
Is this a lot of, and the best defense on there that you played is the Bills, maybe the Steelers, although they're
I want to be clear.
I
want to be clear because
is it the situation of the games that you're playing why Drake May is doing some of the things he's doing? Not to say he shouldn't. I said the same thing. Listen, Caleb's number should have been better yesterday. The Saints are abysmal.
I want to be clear because I'm not doing this from a Patriot fan perspective. Because frankly, the older I get, the longer I've been in this town. The Bears, the team I commit the most time to.
Yeah.
They're the team I watch the most. And whether anybody at home believes me or not, I don't give a fuck. I can speak for myself comfortably on the microphone. The Bears are the team that I root the hardest for on a week-in, week-out basis. They are the number one rooting interest that I have.
Yeah.
It's what I do for work. It's where I live. I'm happier when they're good. Everything else is what it is. I'm doing this from a neutral observer perspective. And it is, Drake May is, like, the throws that he's making, regardless of who it's against, are elite. The throw he had to Stephon Diggs on, was that Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football against the Bills?
Monday Night Football against the Bills.
Rolling out to his right off platform, down the field to a crossing Stephon. It was elite.
Yes.
Some of the throws he made against the Saints were elite. Yesterday, he set the record for completion percentage. And you can go, well, it was the Titans. He plays for the same organization as Tom Brady.
Yeah, 91% is nuts.
When you start setting single-game records for Tom Brady's organization, it doesn't matter to me who you're doing it against.
A Tom Brady who did it versus also the horrible division when the Bills weren't good.
Correct. And then anybody who wants to bring up, well, look at who Drake May's doing it against, then I would just say back to you, okay, Raiders, Commanders, Saints. Why doesn't it look more like that? That's just, and it's, again, I'm not trying to slander Caleb.
Yeah.
I like Caleb. I believe in Caleb. It's just taking more time than I thought it would. And as Waddle said to me before the season started, I don't need to have a lot of patience with this offense. The Lions were scoring 30-plus in the early weeks, even when they started 1-6 with Ben Johnson. They were scoring 30-plus. It's too many drives that end in 3 instead of 7.
I agree.
It's too many missed throws. And I'm happy they won yesterday, but I didn't want to come out of the win and think, again, they won, but the quarterback played badly.
Yeah.
And it does ding a little extra that you were at home against the same defense that Drake May just cooked on the road. Yeah. And I get, like, it's when you're in New Orleans, you play indoors, you play on a fast track, and when you're in Chicago, the conditions are all Dalman was doing different things. I'm not trying to take anything away.
Yeah.
It's just I'm at a point now where it's not early in the season anymore. We're in week 8. And I get they've only played 6 games, but I'd like to see it come along a little more than it has. I want to stop coming out of wins feeling like Caleb needed to play better.
I'm okay with that, right? That Caleb needs to play better. Caleb's okay with that. He said it.
I know.
He went in after the game and he's like, I was bad. I was off. I need to play better. There's throws that I need to hit. And I'm going to find that. I think for me, where my confidence comes, one in Caleb Williams is the fact that if you believe Ben Johnson is the right guy, you have to believe he's going to get the most out of Caleb Williams.
Sure.
The most out of Caleb Williams is quite a bit. if it takes a little while for you to get there, maybe it takes a little while for you to get there. But I also watched Josh Allen go from being one of the worst quarterbacks I thought I'd ever seen in my life to arguably one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life. And it took time for him to get comfortable with the changes that they were making, and Sean McDermott, and they brought Daboll over and all that stuff. Like everything that changed to try and make him a better quarterback, that took time for it to get there. We're 7 weeks into this. This isn't even the finish of year one of Ben Johnson. And when I look at what Jaden Daniels did, every game wasn't perfect. By the end of the season, we were like, this dude's it.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from the consistency, understanding the system, knowing, to be honest with you, just knowing your receivers front ways and back ways. And I feel like he has that relationship with Rome Odunze, which is why you've seen the coverage on Rome Odunze change completely.
Yeah.
Now I got to learn the rest of my group.
Again, in Caleb's defense, Rome's got to squeeze some of those passes, man.
Yeah.
Like that's another one where it's like some of those balls hit you in the hands. You got to squeeze them, and you got to hold on. It's the NFL now. You got to hold on to these passes.
And I get it. Like J-Mac said something yesterday when we did the post-game show, and he was like, you're trying to coach Caleb to be a Bears fans are expecting Ben Johnson to coach Caleb to be a quarterback that he's not. And what I mean by that is that there are times looking at the last game where maybe the check down was there, but Rome's open, and he fires it into Rome, and Rome doesn't catch it. That doesn't mean that was the wrong decision. That means your wide receiver didn't help you out on a play there.
The play that's got to be made.
The play that's got to be made. But everybody goes, just throw it to Roschon, he's right there. Or just throw it to Swift, he's right there. That's the easy throw to make. I'm not saying I don't want to see Caleb Williams take those deposits. But the quarterback that we drafted is the guy that can roll out to the right and fire it 15 to 20 yards down the field and hit his receiver in the hands. Sometimes your receiver's got to make a play. And I felt like two of those catches that Rome clearly should have had, we talk about this game completely differently. Doesn't mean Caleb played well, but I think you look at and say, okay, you're well over 200 yards at that point. You feel like this is a down game, but it's not the worst game that you've seen out of Caleb Williams, and you've still got something to build on. By the way, the run game was dominant, which we got to talk about that as well. But those are the plays where there's times where Caleb Williams needs to help himself. There's times where the receivers need to help him as well. And for me, the fact that we can have this conversation with wins,
that's the best thing.
That is the best thing in the world. We were having this conversation last year with losses.
Yep.
We were having this conversation losing games like the Raider game where Caleb Williams did drive you down and put you in a position to win the game, and your defense needed to make a play and didn't, or special teams needed to make a play and didn't.
Or
the Commander game.
The Packer game.
The Packer game. Like there's so many games that you can go back and look at and say, Caleb Williams won you this football game. And for some other reason, Matt Eberflus, defense, Stevenson, whatever it is, you lost that game. That's not happening this year. This 4-2 Shea feels so different because your defense did go out there and stifle a Cowboys offense that still looks pretty freaking good. Like they don't really seem like they're slowing down. You did go out there and you were able to stop the best run game in football and win that game versus the Commanders while Jaden Daniels smiled on the sidelines the whole time. You did go in there and you won a game versus the Saints that you should have by double digits. I don't care what the football team is. Winning by double digits is hard in the NFL.
Yeah, it's tough. The Patriots didn't win by double digits. That's like as good as May was against the Saints. The Patriots won that game by 6. You won it by 12. And I'm never going to apologize for the way wins look. I am somebody, and I think it needs to be said this week because last week Caleb didn't play well. And the conversation for a week after the fact was, why does the national media hate our quarterback? No, everybody just take a look inward. It's okay. We can be critical of the play that we see because a lot of it isn't good. But the most important thing is what you're saying. And it's why I do believe in this 4-2 and why I'm more comfortable sitting here and saying, I think this team can go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because it's not fluky. You have actually a fluke loss to Minnesota.
Yeah.
And the wins, it's like last year you look at it and go, well, if Will Levis doesn't go insane, then we actually lose that game. But this year it's like you could have easily lost to the Raiders. You overcame the offensive ineptitude, and you won the game. Yeah. You took it. You could have easily lost to Washington, but you overcame late in the fourth quarter, and Jake Moody hit a big-time field goal, and you took it. And yesterday, you really never could have lost to the Saints.
No.
And I wanted it to look a lot better than it did, but that game was under wraps from basically kick to the end of the game. It was a complete victory, and you won it on the ground. And that's what Ben Johnson wants to do. So I'm not complaining about the way that they're winning games or the fact that they're winning games. I'm happy they're doing it, and I do think they have a real shot now. Get in as a wild card. If not, fuck around and win this division. Like, you have an opportunity.
You're in there. You got the opportunity.
You're going to be in the graphic, and this schedule is set up really nicely for you. It's just at some point over these next 3 games where you have real opportunity against the Ravens, against the Bengals, and against the Giants. In one of these 3 games, I would like to see where I would like to do this show after the fact and say, Caleb Williams won you a football game. I don't want to do the show again where you won a game in spite of Caleb because you generated 4 takeaways.
You don't think that I don't think you win that game last week versus the Commanders without Caleb. I'm not saying that he played phenomenal for 4 quarters. But in the second half of that game, Caleb Williams was pretty locked in.
In the fourth quarter, he turned it on. And
I mean, you should have had the touchdown in the third quarter. That was a great drive down the field.
Yeah.
He drove you down the field,
Sure.
Scores the touchdown, roam, they take it off. I get it. The points don't count, but like, to me, I feel like we don't see 7 and then we go, oh, well, this failed. No, like the game, like the actual game that time, the referees failed in that moment, and you didn't come away with 7.
I agree. I mostly agree. But like when we're just talking about what you also don't win that game if Jaden Daniels doesn't put the ball on the turf. And I'm not making excuses for anybody or doing anything like that. But I think that as happy as I am that they're 4-2,
there's improvement. There needs to be improvement.
They are flying a little close to the sun here.
Yes.
And it's not like a Tampa Bay style of flying close to the sun where it's like, well, our quarterback can just rescue us from any situation.
Yeah.
It's more, we're not seeing what we need to out of the quarterback yet, but thank God the defense is getting 4 turnovers per game.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, you can't live that way. It's not, you're not going to get 4 takeaways every game. It's just not going to happen.
Here's the, and I'm not saying you're going to get 4 takeaways every game, but I don't know if you saw this. J-Mac tweeted this out before the game, and hit that like button, subscribe.
Was it Al Harris saying we're getting 4 today?
Well, here's the thing. He said it every week.
I know.
And
they just
I think that goes back to the coaching staff, the preparation that they're going through for these games. You don't just say we're getting 4, and then you actually get 4. You don't say we're getting 3, and then you come away with 4. We're getting 2, you come away with 3. Al Harris has done this like for the last 5-6 weeks. The preparation that Ben Johnson and this coaching staff is putting this team through, to me, seems like they are a more prepared team week in and week out. Maybe
disagreement.
The one week you want to say is the Lions. I'll give you that one. They played horribly coming off of the short week. Ben Johnson talked about that. But it feels like this Bears team, no matter what, always has a chance because of how prepared they are for every games, and that is a massive difference in the 4-2 to me.
Yeah, no disagreement at all. And look, if the running game can hold up and be legitimate, and I think it can, they went into a bye week, they made changes on the O-line, and they've come out of it with 2 weeks where they've been dominant on the ground.
DeAndre Swift is running at a monstrous level.
It feels real.
I've said this for 2 weeks in a row now. It's the most aggressive I've seen him run. It feels like he's going, I'll run through your face and carry you. Kool-Aid McKinstry went for a ride yesterday.
Yeah.
Like he tried to grab on a Swiftie, and he went for a nice little 3-yard ride.
But it's even less him and more like they're starting to run outside zone. They've figured out what their center is best at. They've figured out what their right guard is best at. They've figured out how they can maximize what they're doing up front to block for a lot of these runs. That's where I look at it, and I said preseason. I think you can manufacture a running game here with Swift and with Monangai.
Yeah.
And they have, because the offensive line has come together and they've schemed this thing up. That bye week came at a good time for it. And, yeah, I think the run game is legitimate. I'll never believe you're going to get 4 takeaways a game. Al Harris can say all he wants, but the reality is they have gotten, in the last 5 weeks, a season's worth of takeaways.
100%.
So I always think that has to come back the other way at some point. There's going to be games where you lose the turnover margin. There's going to be games where you get no turnovers. And can I count on the quarterback to win those? Because I do feel like you're Icarus right now, and everything's humming on the defensive side. You're getting the right bounce on every football. What happens when you don't?
I think the one thing that I do wonder about, though, and there are moments, listen, Lamar Jackson's coming to town, right? It's very different when you have to sack Spencer Rattler, who's a 4.95, and Lamar Jackson, who's probably closer to a 4.3 than a 4.4. But, you know what I mean? I think he ran a 4.4 at the Combine. But when I look at what this team has, again, going back to the preparation, these are the things that they said about the Lovey defenses. These are the things that you can't keep doing this. There's no way that you can keep this pace, and they were able to. I think even 2018, now 2019, Vic Fangio leaves, so very different team. But I would look at what the Eagles are doing, right? That defense still fairly stout for most of this season. Like, you don't sit there and go, oh, it's just everything's over. It's falling off a cliff. Like, they had a pick six yesterday, right? Like, good DCs, the best DCs, and the best defensive coaching staffs are usually able to keep their teams consistent. And Al Harris said something about it where he talked about if you're playing the system the right way, because the Bears may be in a little bit of trouble here. Tyreek Stevenson banged up. We don't know if he's going to be healthy moving forward or if this is just a day-to-day thing. Hopefully it's just day-to-day and you don't miss out on him. But he said it doesn't matter who's out there. If you play the system the right way and you know what you're doing and you study your film, the ball will find you. And that has been proving true where Jaquan Brisker's a big hitter. He hasn't been a big interception guy throughout his career. He's finding picks. Kevin Byard is back.
Yeah.
Kevin Byard
4
was
interceptions
the big interception
already.
guy.
Should be 5 interceptions.
It should be 5, Nashawn. I'm going to get on him in the locker room. Every time I see Nashawn, and you should have been in the house. Get on that horse, Nashawn. But, like, you've got guys having resurgence. I understand, right, Montez Sweat is kind of a question mark, and he's not getting the sack numbers, but dang it, he's really been a big part of stopping the run.
He showed up yesterday, too. Forced a fumble.
Every time you see that angle from the running back view, and there's a hole, whatever gap it's supposed to be, I see 98's number pop up in there, ready to lay the boom. Like, I think that the consistency of this team comes from the preparation. And I've seen this before in Chicago. It was with Urlacher and Briggs and Tillman. And they kept saying, this team can't keep forcing this. And we watched them force turnovers for probably 7-8 years in a row. Like, I lean more that this can be something that is consistent for this team.
Not me. Not to the level that it's at. Could I see you getting a takeaway a game? Sure. 4? No. And think about what some of them are. Like, one of them is Jaden Daniels puts the ball on the mat.
Sure. That's a turnover, though. And I like the DA differentiated that. He said there's takeaways and there's turnovers.
Yeah.
Most of these have been takeaways.
Like, you force a fumble on Rattler. Montez Sweat comes in, grabs his right arm, he drops the football. The nose bounces differently, and the Saints recover it.
Yeah.
Like, those are 50-50 things. That's where the idea that you're going to get 4 of these every game, I'll never accept that as true. And if it happens, then you're just charmed and you don't apologize for it and you keep moving. Like, let's go. I'd be thrilled if they could get 4 takeaways a game. I just don't believe that it's possible.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. So that's where I sit here and I go, what happens in the game where you get none? Is your quarterback able
to step up?
Is your quarterback able to step up and win you that game?
Yeah. No, in the one game where they had none, now granted, that was probably the worst game of the season. You got 52 put on you. Your quarterback couldn't keep up.
You got your
pace.
Ass kicked.
Yeah, that was ugly. That was ugly. And honestly, that's one of his better games of the season. Honestly, he actually was pretty good in that game.
Like, watching that game, he was better against the Lions in a game where you got 50-pieced than he was against the Saints on Sunday.
Yeah.
And that's it for me. Like, everything is pretty good in Bear land. It's just I need this quarterback to be a little more consistent. That's it. I just need Caleb to be a little more consistent.
No, 100%.
And
I agree with that.
We're good to go.
I will say this, and I've talked about this a little bit now. We're 7 weeks into the season. I think it's proving true. We're going to have to start looking at quarterbacks' success almost only in touchdowns again. Because yards have changed so drastically because of the new kickoff rule. Josh Allen has had some phenomenal games this season. And he's come away with Like, he had what was his 3-touchdown game? His 3-touchdown game versus the Dolphins. He destroyed them. He had 213 passing yards.
Yeah, it's the kickoff rules, and it's everybody's gone to the. Mel Kiper talks about it like it's not a new thing, but
yeah,
too high safety is being run more than ever.
It's been the last 10 years now that they've been doing this. Mel Kiper every week. They're doing this new too high safety thing. I don't know,
but it's taken away a lot of vertical passing, and you see it around the league. Outside of like Baker and like Herbert on a week-in, week-out basis, and what Flacco did to the Steelers, you don't see a lot of guys going for north of 300 yards anymore.
No.
So it is like
if they do, it's usually an overtime game.
Quarterback success now for me is, are you finding the end zone? And it doesn't even have to be with your arm, but are drives consistently ending in 7 points and you're the reason?
Yeah.
Are you limiting turnovers? Caleb does that very well.
Yeah.
So I can't complain there. Are you taking sacks? Caleb has more than cut his sack rate in half. Now, yesterday people got on him a little bit.
He was doing the spin-a-rooney a little bit.
Yeah, but he only took the one sack.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm really angry about it. I think, honestly, if you're looking for the thing I'm most pleased about with Caleb, he's more than cut his sack rate in half.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
That's Josh Allen.
Last year, I think something like 30% of his pressures became sacks.
Yeah.
This year, it's like 12%. That's incredible. So when I look at quarterback, I think there's two things that are number one and number two, and you can split hairs on which one's which. Completion percentage and sack rate are the two top determinants if this is going to be a good quarterback or not. Caleb is 1 for 2 right now.
Yeah.
Sack rate is fantastic. And whether that's the offensive line, whether it's the coaching, he's figured it out, and I'm thrilled about it. Completion percentage is the next step. Let's figure out how to be accurate. And if you can do that, then you're cooking with gasoline. Because this team, you're right, the preparation is there. The defense feels legitimate, especially from a coordinating perspective. I think Dennis Allen's great. Skill position players, I think you've got them. Offensive line, it feels like it's come together. Offensively as a whole, the running game, it's been dominant. So now it's just get this quarterback accurate, and we're cooking with gas.
Yeah. No, it's 100%. Like, I think I've talked about this a ton, and we got to get to our reads here, but I've talked about this a ton. Like, if Caleb gets the gimmies, we are kicking our feet up 15 going into some of these fourth quarters. Ben's drawing the plays up. Like, there's a play yesterday. He's doing the spin-a-rooney. Freaking DeAndre Swift's wide open in the flat. You had DJ Moore. You had, when he rolls out, you had Rome Odunze. He fires a bullet in there to OZ that hits off of the defender's hands and could have been an interception very easily. Those are the ones where you go, all right, how'd you not see that? Was the tackle too tall? Like, what happened there that made you not see those three guys wide open? One of them was standing in front of you.
Same thing, the interception that he threw on the try downfield on the sideline
he had
to Rome.
Predetermined that throw.
Yeah, he was staring at Rome the entire play and then fired it, and it's like that never had a chance.
Yeah.
And if you just take a beat, DJ's ready for a first down. He's open.
Yeah.
So it's those plays where I look at it and I go, I feel good. You beat the Saints by 12. You should have beat them by 30.
100%. And I feel the same way about the Raiders game. I feel the same way kind of about the Commanders game. I know that was called funky, but there were so many opportunities for you to finish those drives with 7. I think that's the part where when we talk about next steps, that's what I want to see this Bears team really get to, where the easy ones are the ones that Caleb is able to take advantage of. And like I said earlier, your wide receivers got to help you out on some of those. There's a big pass that puts Caleb Williams' numbers out of the water at the end of the game if OZ just catches it.
Yep.
He's running down the left sideline probably for a touchdown that houses the game and maybe gives your defense a shot to have to stop Jaden. But, like, there's been so many of those where you're just a little bit off. Once you get that in sync, and that takes time, I think that's when this team becomes dangerous. All right, let's finish it out here. We got to, of course, tell you guys all about our guys over at Underdog. Underdog Fantasy, a sponsor of today's podcast. And, Shea, the Monday night game tonight, You are 2 Monday night games tonight. You're not a fan of the double Monday nighter.
No, it should be one game. Monday night is an event. It should be one game on an island. We don't need the doubleheader. 9 o'clock start.
9 o'clock starts nuts.
Come on.
Just if you're going to give me 2 games, we all have the capability at this point. I'm sorry if you're too old to or just don't want to invest in it. We can watch 2 games at once. It's very. I watch 8 games at once. And I'm locked in on everyone. I'm literally just doing this all day, and I'm okay.
I miss when Monday Night Football was an event and it was a solo act. Yeah. That was the good stuff.
I would agree with that because everything was focused on that. Now you got to focus on double games, but let's put a little combined picks play in here. Shea, you're very high on Aiden Hutchinson tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to get a little crazy.
You're going nuts here.
So we're going to go Aiden Hutchinson higher than 2.5 sacks.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to try to make the people some money here. Because I'll tell you, you look at Tampa's injury report, they're down their right tackle, they're down their right guard. And these are the games when Aiden says, fit me, get me, tailor me for the gold jacket. I get to eat against backups. When he's going against starting level players, Aiden sometimes disappears. But games like this, it's when he puts Baker on the mat 5 times. Higher than 2.5 sacks for Aiden Hutchinson.
I like that. I like a little Rachaad White play. Listen, Rachaad White's been one, and if the Aiden situation plays out, you're probably going to be running the football a little bit more tonight. I'll go higher than a touchdown for anytime touchdown for Rachaad White. I think he finds the end zone tonight.
Beautiful.
I do think this is a little higher scoring game than maybe we think, but I can see them getting after.
The total's insane. Isn't it like 56.5?
Yeah, it's they're expecting a lot of points here, which listen, could mean you're
53.5.
You're going through a lot here. You've also got Houston and Seattle tonight. Want to do a little combined play to make the 9 o'clock game interesting there? Like anything, C.J. Stroud maybe a Nick Chubb play.
What's the yardage number on C.J. Stroud?
228.5 passing yards. Now on Underdog, you can go higher. You can set kind of the yards where you want. If you want to go crazy, you can go 249, 269, 289, 300 yards.
What's the number on Sam Darnold? Passing yards.
Ooh, little Sam Darnold, 225 right now.
Let's go higher.
225.5. Higher on the Sam Darnold.
Let's ride the hot hand and go higher on Sam Darnold's passing yards.
Ooh, I'm here for it. Anything else you want to throw in there, Shea? You like those 3?
3 legs enough for me.
3 legs? Well, shout out to you, buddy.
Welcome to the party, pal.
That Shea play, you throw $20 on that, you can win $897. Make sure to tune in with Underdog Fantasy. And make sure that you download the app today. Sign up and use the promo code CBP to score $100 in bonus funds or bonus entries when you play your first $5 bet. That's promo code CBP. Underdog, make picks, win money. Cue the disclaimer there, EO.
If that comes through, I expect highly positive YouTube comments. I don't want to see any negative nonsense. If I just put $800 in your pocket, I expect positivity and thanks.
Let's see. You go $30, you're $1,300 there, Shea.
If you go big on this and you put a rack in your pocket, I don't want to hear any negativity. Now, if this doesn't come through, feel free, whatever you want to do. This shithead got me to blow $25, but if that comes through, positivity is what I expect.
Well, and here's the best part about it, Shea. They always got their profit boosts out there. So if you apply a 30% profit boost on that, Shea Norling, oh my goodness, $20, $1,100.
Underdog's trying to take care of people, man.
Underdog's taking care of people out here. So make sure that you guys tune in with Underdog and download the app. Use promo code CBP. Again.
And always remember, you didn't make bad bets. The players played bad.
That's kind of facts. I stand by that.
Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or over in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Let's finish it out with this, Shea. If there's one thing outside of the Caleb Williams conversation that the Bears need to fix as they head into this game versus Baltimore, what's it that you want to see?
Outside of Caleb?
Outside of the Caleb. Or do you feel like it's been like, hey, you're ready for Lamar here?
It would be the penalties. The pre-snap stuff, it's got to stop, the false starts, but it's just weekly now. We keep harping on it. I don't know if it's going to stop, but that's really it. It's Caleb's accuracy and the penalties.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's been the biggest conversation around this Bears team for far too long. And you've had, 1 week? The Dallas week, right?
I'd say another thing, too. I do kind of think you're beating the Ravens. Not to put the cart in front of the horse.
Listen, I think
6.5-point dogs. I know it's a tall task, but I kind of think you're going to beat them.
But see, here's my problem with that, right? Like, what about? I get it. Baltimore back against the wall. I do still think it's Baltimore. I do still think it's Lamar Jackson. Which Lamar Jackson is coming back? If it's a Lamar Jackson where the hamstring is still a problem, like maybe it's not. Maybe it's perfectly fixed. But knowing how hamstrings work, they're usually not perfectly fixed, especially when you play a game like football. So I would assume there's still some lingering effects there. And no matter what, this defense can't stop anything.
Yeah.
I don't think just bringing Roquan Smith back, he's a phenomenal player. But he's not going to stop this newfound running game alone that the Bears have found. And if Caleb Williams is what he was, say, in that Dallas game or say in whichever game you want to pick, like the Ravens easily could be 1-6.
The issue for Baltimore is way beyond the injuries defensively. The biggest thing for me is Jair Alexander can't cover a song. He's awful.
Yeah. Can't cover a song.
No, he's terrible.
Done.
They haven't been able to stop anybody on the back end. And then you look at Lamar, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I've always felt this way about Lamar Jackson. When he goes up against truly great defensive coordinators, and sometimes not even great. But what does Steve Spagnuolo always do to him? We're going to play nickel. We're going to rush 5. We're going to make you play quarterback. And you're going to beat us with your arm. And what is Lamar very rarely able to do? Beat you with your arm.
Yeah.
Like, same thing when they played Detroit at home this year, when they were healthy and they did get popped. What did Kelvin Shepard do to Lamar? We're going to rush 5 at you. And you're going to play quarterback. And he took 7 sacks. Yeah. And I say took 7 sacks because it's not like Detroit just bared down on him. He was doing that thing where he runs around in the backfield and he's looking for escape routes. But if you play it correctly as a coordinator, there are no escape routes, and Lamar will run himself into sacks. What's Dennis Allen going to do, guys? We're going to play nickel. We're going to rush 5 at you. You're going to be a quarterback. Like, I kind of feel like you're going to beat him.
We'll see. I think that Lamar's pretty good at playing quarterback. I think Spags has something special on him. There's always, I think, no matter what with the great quarterbacks, right, there's always that one matchup where they're like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but he's got my number, right? Like, I think that we've seen that throughout history. Unfortunately, that's paired up with a god of a quarterback on the other side.
Yeah.
So when you don't play well, the god usually goes out there and does. Or doesn't, and you just played poorly enough that he still beats you. Because I think in that playoff game last year, like, it gets to Lamar when you do that. The tough part for me, where I do think the Bears, again, not comparing them to the Chiefs, but like, we don't often catch the mobile quarterback. That's the part where if you're finally able to do it, that would show me something. Because Spencer Rattler got away a little bit, even though you were beating up on him. The Jaden Daniels got away a lot. You got to catch Lamar for him to go down, and I don't know if the Bears are there just yet. But if they are, if the sack numbers keep rolling in, I'm here for it, because when the Saints came marching in, they got their butts kicked. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For Shea Norling, as always, it's your boy Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bed down. One love. Make some money tonight. Peace.
Your roof's got more layers than the Conspiracy Podcast.
Is that a sandwich wrapper?
Ah, yes. Vintage 1988. It really builds character.
Avondale Roofing. Inspect smarter, dig deeper, and get to the core of your roof's health.